Hello folks and welcome to a new game for us. This is called MiniMetro. This game has been out for like 10 or 11 years. It's super old. I love this game. This is my airplane travel game. The idea is that you have all these little shapes like the little O here that pop up and you have to transport shapes to other shapes. It's not a big deal, but it's super fun. Right now, I have played all of these. You can see my best is in some of these, but I did a fresh install, so I got rid of all of my progress as far as unlocking things. But this game is super fun. So let's go ahead and take a look at Los Angeles. You can see we have a triangle, a circle, and a square. All you do is click, hold, and drag, and connect these together, and you're ready to roll. I'd be honestly shocked if a lot of you haven't played this game already. I played on my phone, I played on my iPad. As I said, this is like when I go on an airplane, this is my airplane game. I love this game. It is so much fun to build your network and to go through. This little dot down here tells us how many locomotives we have, which are little kind of bricks going around, and the lines. The bigger ones mean we've used them, so we've used yellow and red, and then we have one more in the bluish kind of color, and then we have 3 tunnels. Tunnels are used to go under rivers. So the game's going to speed up here, or we're going to speed it up. It will slowly, and what's one of the really cool things about this game is it slowly, over time, zoom out. So you can see we have these nice crisp, we're really close in on everything right now. That's not always going to be the case. It's going to get farther out. These triangles at their current size are going to get smaller. The trains will get smaller, everything, because we're going to have more and more shapes go through. Like right now, we've only delivered 7 passengers, and there's going to be more coming. But this is not going to be a series or anything like that for the channel. I really honestly love this game. I've played it for like a decade. I've really played this game for a long time, and I thought that I should just give it some praise for how good and fun of a game it is. These are by the same people who make Mini Motorways, so it's the same idea, except instead of transporting shapes, you're transporting colors to different factories from their homes. I'll get into it at some point, because that game I also love, and I actually think is a little better than this game in certain circumstances. So I'll explain that eventually once I get there, but for what we're doing now, this is fine. So you can see we've made this loop, and you can grab these little end spots and extend them, or when I've made a loop I can break them apart by just dragging them apart there. Super easy, not a big deal, but very fun. You can see we're already starting to slowly zoom out. This little corner, I always look at the corners of where stuff's at, especially this corner here. We're going to see more and more of that. And right now we have this nice little setup to get started. If we clicked and dragged across the river, you can see there's this dotted line that shows you it's a tunnel. Right now I don't have anywhere to connect it. And then each week on Sunday at the end, you get a new option. So we're getting a new locomotive, and then we get to choose between a line and a carriage. I'm going to choose a line right now, which is going to go down, and then we have a light blue line that's there. I'm going to lock that into place so it doesn't disappear, because when I lose this kind of setup, I forget what I'm doing half the time. So it's nice to kind of go in and get this set up. But we're going to get a lot more stuff going on here soon. It starts off kind of slow, and you're like, oh, I got this. And then, boom, it hits, and you're like, I don't have this. Which is one of the things I really, truly love about this game, is just the infinite complexity of what it does. This part here, where it does that, hurts my brain. I don't want those to cross over. I want them to remain on the same sides. I'll fix that in a second here. So let me pause the game, and we'll go through and do this. And then I want this one to go here and there, and this one can, it's not doing that. So I'm just going to leave it as is, because it's going to bother me, and I don't want to redraw all that stuff. But we can see that we still have another line. We have the light blue line, and we have one locomotive. Now, I'm sure there's been tons of videos on the ways to best go through and build all the things and to do everything. But if you've watched my channel at all, you should know, or if you have watched it, don't know, I don't do any research on these games. I don't want to figure out the best way to optimize and do all the stuff. I kind of want to figure it out on my own. It's not as much fun for me for someone to tell me what the best way to do stuff is. So because of that, I often run into some problems that if I knew more I wouldn't have, but right now I don't know more, so it's going to be kind of what it is. I like this internal core that we have here. We have the red line, it's kind of a north-south, the blue line's east-west, and then we have this core yellow line that's going through. And we have a couple of transfer spots. So this one here supports 2 lines, this one supports 2 lines, this one supports 2 lines, or 3 lines, excuse me, and this is 2. So that's kind of a nice thing. The blue line is going to extend out. Is that blue or purple? I'm honestly colorblind with red-green, and sometimes that includes shades of blue. So I get mixed up on colors. I think that's dark blue, but maybe it's not. I don't know. But we have all of that. And now we have our first setup here that's over the other side of the river. So we can go in. Let's start off a new line. We're going to go up here, then down there, and then we'll cross over. I always like to have a point of kind of some continuity of a new line where it's supported by other lines. I think it just makes sense. And a couple other things here. Some of these will change shapes, so sometimes a circle will become a square or something else. And also, circles produce more than everything else, so their chances of popping up a new shape are much higher than all of the other shapes. That's just something to know going in, so that you have a whole bunch of circles in a row, you're probably going to have some problems. I'm going to continue this one over the river. It looks like we're going to have another east-west kind of line, is at least how it's stated now. But this is more to the southern end. And eventually what I'm hoping is that we get some stuff popping up down in this little nook, and we can get rid of this, and this little triangle will be our transport to the rest of the system. Who knows? We'll see how it works out. We're going to use the red one for that. And oh, look, that one was a different shape, and now it's a diamond. I could close this in, and that'd be the end of that, but I think I'm going to leave it open for now. And, I don't know. I'm semi-interested in setting up something like that where I have two loops. I can make this yellow loop much bigger and put more trains on it, but I don't have that option right now. It's only Wednesday, and we haven't been awarded anything else. I do have the option of putting a train on there by holding and dragging. You can see I do one way, and I can change which direction it goes. So I can have it go, in this case, counterclockwise, or if I rotate it around, it goes clockwise. But that's not really my choice right now for what I want to do. So I'm actually going to do this and something like that and have this be the interchange for that. We'll see how that goes. I'm only expecting squares and diamonds to get delivered. Everything else is satisfied along this route. But we have 3 circles. So we're going to be pumping out stuff here in no shorter order. And that could spell some problems for us. We're up to about 200 people now, so our system is slowly growing. And I'm not going to go through like all the levels. This is, again, not going to be a series where I make a whole bunch of videos on each one, because I honestly don't have this game figured out enough to do that. And it's also, I wouldn't say like it's not interesting enough, but it's just there's so much other stuff that we can look at. So we have this, and we have an interchange. An interchange basically allows you to get more places. I'm going to click on a line for right now, but essentially as these dots fill up, there's going to be a timer that will appear, and that's going to happen pretty soon. We don't have a great system right now, but the timer will pop up, and once that pops up, you only have so much time to get it cleared or you lose. An interchange, what that does, it allows you to have more time on that timer. You can have more shapes, and it will work better for you. So let's go through and connect on some other stuff. I really like interlinking a lot of lines. I think it just makes the game, one, more interesting, but also you have more chances to clear things out. Like right now, this light blue line, the only chance it has to get to a square is by offloading right here. But this bluish purple line, or the dark blue line, has 2 chances to get squares offloaded, so it makes it a little bit more efficient in that sense. And I just picked up a new circle, so I'm going to disconnect that one, and I'm going to leave it going down there. Ooh, we have a new square, so we can put that going out, or I can continue this out here and then connect that back and make another loop that way. We already go across the river there, so it's not really going to hurt anything, and it makes it look a little bit more interesting. So we're going to do that and see what we have. Got a locomotive. We have only 1 tunnel left. We're going to go a line, I think, and we're just going to go through and see what's happening here. And one of the things I really, truly, honestly love about this game is it's so unpredictable. Every time, oh, got a timer going, but every time I play, it's a completely different experience. Every single level, even though you're playing the same city, they all are unique in their own way, and I really dig that about the game. It really adds a new touch. It's new and interesting and fun, and I dig it. We're going to have to go through and add another train onto that one, because it's going to cause problems for us, and we can see that triangle that used to be there is now a plus sign. We have a circle over here that we need to deal with, and let's see what we can do with that. So if we run that up here, and there, we don't have to have that green line go quite as long. You can stop at that point. because it's coming from way far over on the other side. This one can run north-south. This one's running east-west. We have another east-west runner. And then we have 3 loops. Okay. This area is going to be a problem for us. Ooh, we got another triangle that we're going to connect up that way, I think, to keep that north-south running. Locomotive and a carriage, and that carriage is going to go on to, I don't know which one yet, probably that blue line, because there's only one train on there. Okay, that's going to go out there, and I think we have everything else connected at this point. So you can see this game gets really complicated really fast in balancing both the demands, the destinations, and your ability to, or I should say capacity, to get all this stuff delivered and have it going out. Like our blue train right now is doing a great job, but this station is only serviced by one line, and you can see all the shapes that are there right now aren't connected, so it has to wait till it has a chance to connect, and now we can load up and unload and do all the things we need to do. This lighter blue line is going to start running into some problems, I think, because we're just running out of stuff. This guy's loading up and should go over. My goal usually is to get about 1,000 people, and I'm pretty happy with that. My record on this one is at least on Steam that I'm playing this on right now, it's about 2,200. I think my record on the iPad's more, but I don't remember what it is. But it doesn't really matter, honestly. Red line's going to be a problem here real soon too. We have a number of circles attached to it, and I should have done an interchange up here, but that's okay. And then as we're going through, it's kind of spacing these out too. So I'm going to pause real fast, just because if we take a look, we have triangle, a square, plus sign, circle, circle, triangle, circle, circle. So at least there's 2 circles between each triangle. I could have dragged that out from here and brought it over, but that would just leave 3 circles in a row, as opposed to right now, we only have to deal with 2 and then we can skip, which sounds a little bit better. We only have 1 line left, which is the brown line. Everything else has been used up. So we also run into a resource management kind of game where you start losing the ability to have some stuff exist. I'm going to use this last brown line to run along here and to get these serviced, and we'll see what that does. I don't know if that's going to work out for us or not, but we don't have any tunnels left, and we definitely have plenty of problems. That pink is going to go before we have a chance to service it, I think. I'm going to bring this, no, not that. I'm going to bring the green one up here and go over. All right, and we're going to have to throw one on here real fast before we lose the game. That turned to a star. And we're not far away from losing this, in all honesty. This one's going to time out, or this one's going to time out. Oh boy, we got lots going on here. Yeah, we have some problems going on. Let's get a carriage onto the green. The red one only has 1 line. Let's load that up. Ooh, there it is. Okay, we lost at that one. But you can see, it's a fun little game. If you've never played it before, I can't recommend it enough. It's a great time killer. It's a great kind of mental thing to go through, and it has variability. Again, every single game you play on this is totally different, and that's fun. There's also other modes where you can go in and explore it, but for me, I like playing the challenges and just seeing if I can beat my high score. Folks, that's going to wrap us up here for today. Thanks for joining me. I'm trying to slowly increase video output, so let me know if that's something that you're interested in, and if the games that I'm doing that with are something you're digging. But otherwise, folks, have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.